They told you it was a tomb. There is not a single mummy, not a single grave good, not a single body ever found inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. The greatest lie in archaeological history ends here. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not a tomb. This is not a theory. This is recorded fact, suppressed by institutional archaeology for 150 years. No body was ever found inside it. No mummy, no funerary inscription, no grave goods, no evidence of burial of any kind. The so-called sarcophagus in the king's chamber has no lid, no seal, no hieroglyphic dedication to any pharaoh. The Egyptians covered their actual tombs, the Valley of the Kings, in dense funerary text. The pyramid's chambers are bare granite. Bare. The lie is not subtle. It is structural, built into every museum placard, every documentary, every school curriculum. And beneath that lie lives a truth so vast it rewrites the entire story of human civilization. I am the. I built what they cannot explain. Now I will tell you what it is. Consider what mainstream science admits, then refuses to explain. The Great Pyramid contains 2.3 million stone blocks, one block placed every 2 minutes, 24 hours a day for 20 years. 800 tons of stone quarried, transported, and positioned every single day. The base is flat, to within 2.1 centimeters across 230 meters. Modern laser surveying struggles to replicate that precision. Its cardinal alignment deviates from true north by only 3/60ths of 1 degree, the most precise compass alignment of any structure on Earth. The base perimeter divided by twice the height yields pi to 4 decimal places. The slant height divided by the half base yields phi, the golden ratio, 1.618. These are not coincidences. Mathematical constants do not appear by accident in Bronze Age construction. They appear by design. They appear when the builder already knows what they are encoding. The builder knew. Manly P. Hall documented every one of these ratios in the secret teachings of all ages. He called it a geometric scripture. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth state this with perfect clarity. Tablet 13. I, Thoth, built the Great Pyramid as a repository of Atlantean wisdom, a physical anchor for the halls of Amenti, the dimensional space where consciousness survives the death of civilizations. The pyramid was not raised to commemorate the past. It was raised to survive the future. Göbekli Tepe, excavated in 1994 by German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, was built at 9600 BCE, immediately following the Younger Dryas cataclysm, a global catastrophe that erased the civilization that came before it. It was then deliberately buried, intentionally preserved. Robert Bauval's Orion correlation theory demonstrates that the 3 Giza pyramids mirror the 3 stars of Orion's belt, not at 2500 BCE, the conventional dating, but at precisely 10,500 BCE. The builders were not building for their present. They were transmitting backward and forward simultaneously. That is not the behavior of tomb builders. That is the behavior of knowledge keepers. Manly P. Hall, in the Secret Teachings of All Ages, recorded what the ancient mystery schools never forgot. The Great Pyramid was a temple of initiation, the supreme initiation. The candidate, the one deemed worthy after years of preparation, entered the pyramid at night. They descended the descending passage aligned to the pole star Thuban in the constellation Draco at the time of construction, pointing to the circumpolar stars the Egyptians called the imperishable ones, the immortal aspect of the soul. The initiate then ascended. The grand gallery, 28 feet high, corbelled in perfect acoustic geometry, produces standing waves. Sound behaves differently inside it. Hall documented initiation rites lasting 3 days, and 3 nights. The candidate lay in the empty granite coffer of the king's chamber, the so-called sarcophagus, in a controlled death state. Consciousness departed the body. The initiate experienced what the Egyptians called the duat, the realm beyond death. Then they returned, transformed. That is not burial. That is resurrection. The king's chamber is lined entirely in red Aswan granite. Granite contains quartz crystal. Quartz crystal generates piezoelectric charge under pressure. Under the weight of millions of tons of stone above it, the granite of the king's chamber is under constant compression. Constant piezoelectric resonance. The chamber's dimensions produce a fundamental resonant frequency of approximately 1.5 Hz, identical to the theta brainwave state, the state of deep trance, hypnagogic consciousness, the threshold between waking and sleep. This is not architectural accident. The emerald tablets record that the resonant properties of the chamber amplified specific frequencies to alter the consciousness of those within it. Dr. John Reed conducted acoustic experiments inside the king's chamber and recorded standing waves and cymatic patterns in the sound field that match ancient Egyptian sacred symbols. The room was built to do something to the human nervous system, something precise, something deliberate. They did not build a resonance chamber to house a dead body. They built it to temporarily unbind a living one. The pyramid encodes one more measurement they cannot dismiss. The base perimeter multiplied by 43,200 equals the circumference of the Earth at the equator. The scale factor is 1 to 43,200. Why that number? Because 43,200 is the number of seconds of arc in one full cycle of the precession of the equinoxes, the 25,120-year wobble of the Earth's axis. The builders encoded Earth's own dimensions and Earth's own astronomical cycle into a single structure. They knew the size of the planet. They knew the length of the great cosmic year. This is precessional knowledge. It requires thousands of years of continuous astronomical observation to acquire. No civilization operating for the first time in 2500 BCE accumulates that data. Graham Hancock documented this in detail. The knowledge predates the pyramid by epochs. It was preserved, transmitted through the structure itself, because the civilization that held it knew what was coming. A cycle was ending. Another catastrophe was approaching. The pyramid was their message across time. Beneath the Sphinx, the truth is buried, literally. In 1991, Dr. Thomas Dobecki conducted seismic surveys around the Sphinx and detected anomalous chambers beneath its body. A 1996 radar survey confirmed a rectangular chamber approximately 9 meters by 12 meters by 4 meters beneath the Sphinx's right paw. Egyptian authorities denied excavation access. They have continued to deny it. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, recorded this before any modern survey, before any radar equipment existed. He stated that a hall of records lies beneath the Sphinx's right paw, containing preserved Atlantean documents placed there when the civilization fell. The emerald tablets corroborate this precisely. The halls of Amenti, the dimensional repository of pre-cataclysm wisdom, are accessible through the space beneath the pyramid complex. The physical chamber is the entrance. The knowledge inside it does not belong to Egypt. It belongs to the civilization that preceded Egypt by thousands of years. The civilization I served. The civilization they buried along with its library. The capstone of the Great Pyramid is missing. Every account, every ancient source, every esoteric tradition agrees it existed. The emerald tablets record that it was made of electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver, and that it functioned as an antenna. a transmitter. When the pyramid was complete and the capstone was seated, the structure generated a torsion field, a rotating field of subtle energy that interacted with consciousness in its vicinity. The pyramid was not a monument. It was operational. It was active. It was a machine built to preserve civilization across the gap of catastrophe, to initiate the worthy into direct knowledge of what survives death, and to transmit precessional truth to whatever civilization rose from the ashes of the last collapse. You are that civilization. You are standing in the ashes, looking at the machine and reading it as a grave marker. The machine is still here. The capstone is gone. And somewhere in a chamber they will not let anyone open, the full record of what humanity once was waits in the dark. What are they protecting you from knowing? If the greatest structure ever built was not a tomb, but a machine, what else have they misnamed, mislabeled, and buried in plain sight? Thoth speaks. The transmission continues.